Good afternoon, Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. Ken Zone here talking baseball. Baseball records, batting average. I've ranked 169 Hall of Fame players. Number one, Ty Cobb. This video, we're on player number 91. We're counting down. Minnie Minoso, 299 career batting average. Played in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. 1,900 games, 2,000 hits, 2,100 hits. His high batting average for a season, 324. 299 career. Feel sorry for him. As a Hall of Famer, or as a baseball player in general, don't you want to have a career average of 300 or over? In fact, the first 90 guys that I have covered in these videos all have a 300 or better average. Number 91 on the list, Minnie Minoso, 299 career. Where did he fall short? Just imagine he may have gotten robbed a lot of times on hits. If those hits fall in, maybe he has 300 career batting average. Plays 1,948 games. But he started at age 27. I think that's what hurt him. If he had started at age like 22, he may have had a 300 or better batting average. He played in the Negro Leagues. 1946, played for the New York Cubans. So I think that's where Minnie Minoso, he's a Hall of Famer, excuse me, that's where he missed out on a 300 career batting average. Wow. Let's continue the countdown here. 92 on the list. Have you heard of this guy? Mickey Mantle. 298 career. Oh, another guy that just fell short of 300 career batting average. But you know why he didn't get 300 or better career? Struck out too much. About 1,700 strikeouts. But Mickey Mantle is one of my favorite players of all time in the Hall of Fame. Why? Well, he has 2,400 hits. 2,400 games. And listen to this. 2,415 hits. Average a hit a game. 2,401 games. 2,415 hits. And I like this. 536 homers. He only played 18 years. He was hurt. Mickey Mantle could have hit 700 home runs if he wasn't as injured. What if? And if he had played 22 years. He has 2,400 games, 536 homers. Give him 3,000 games, which is another 600 games. Figure 160 games a year. Let's say he averages 45. If he's healthy, right? Maybe he hit 50 twice. 45 four times, 90, 180, 180, and 536 would have gotten him into the 700 home run range, I do believe. Mickey Mantle. 298 career. 93 on the list. Jim Rice. 298 career batting average. Again, a guy who falls short. Why? How come he didn't get to 300 career? He was a good player. Jim Rice played in the 70s and 80s. I'll tell you why he didn't get there. 2,000 games, that's all. Should have played more. 2,400 hits. Give him another 500, maybe 800 games, and he ends up in the 3,000 hit club. So the 2,000 games, kind of what if for Jim Rice. 382 homers. His career high, or his season high, Best he ever did was 325. He's a 300 hitter if he had played longer. He ends up 298. 94 on the list, Gabby Harnett. Gabby Harnett. 297 career. I've got him in this book if you're interested. Baseball Hall of Fame book, Almanac. 1,900 games, 1,900 hits. His high was 354, so he has the ability to have a good batting season. But he ends up 297, never had a 200 hit season. He was super smart. He was a catcher. So 297 is respectable. Just didn't play enough. 1,900 games, not enough. He plays longer. Maybe he's 300 hitter. 95 on the list. Al Kaline. Interesting guy. Al Kaline came into the league at 18 years old, but he ends up 297 career. Why? He played enough games. He did what I've been calling for. He played 2,834 games and ends up with 3,007 hits. I like that. Remember, I've been getting on guys who don't play enough games and they don't get to 3,000 hits, and they have the potential to do it. Kaline does it. He sticks in there. He plays 22 years, 2,834 games, but he ends up 297 career. Why? He had the 3,000 hits. How many guys are in the Hall of Fame with 3,000 hits, yet under 300 career batting average? I can think of two. Maybe there's another one. Ricky Henderson's the other guy. 3,000 hits, but below 300 career batting. Here's another thing about Al Kaline. 399 career homers. Al, play one more year to get that 400th home run, but he didn't do it. 96 on the list. Oh, the high for Kaline, 340. And he did that in his third year. 20 years old, got 200 hits, and batted 340. 96 on the list, Jeff Bagwell. Oh, new school. His high, he had a 368 one year. 110 games, though, but he bats 368. He plays 2,100 games, not enough, and has 2,300 hits. Give him 500 or 600 more games, maybe 700 more games. If he gets into the 2,800 era of games played, he would have been a 3,000 hit club. But he only played 15 years. Bagwell should have played about 5 more years, but ends up 297 career batting average, 449 homers. He was a slugger. 97 on the list, George Kelly. 297 career batting average. His high, 324. This is another guy, doesn't play enough. 1,600 games, 1,700 hits. So if you double it, 1,600 times 2 would be what? 3,200 games? That's how many Aaron played, 3,200. He has 1,700 hits in 1,600 games. 3,200 games, he would have had 3,400 hits, 3,000 hit club. So here's another guy. Could have made the 3,000 hit club. Never had 200 hits in a season. His high, about 324. George Kelly. 98 on the list. Orlando Cepeda. 297 career. His high for a season, 325. So he's right around that 300 range. What potential did Cepeda have? 2,100 games, 2,300 hits. So if these guys play 3,000 games, he was on a pace for 3,000 hits. He was a slugger, 379 home runs. Cepeda, 297. 99 on the list. Ivan Rodriguez. Catcher, 296 career. I've got him here. That's fine. Ivan, here he is. Plays a lot of games as catcher. 2,500 games, 2,800 hits. So he was on pace for 3,000 hits. These guys had potential. Why they stopped, I don't know. Maybe too tired. 296 career, best season for him. He had a 347 as a catcher. That was in he only had 91 games where he batted 347. He had a good year, 334 also. Ivan Rodriguez, 296 career, 100 on the list. Frank Chance, 296 career. His best season, 327 batting average. Let's see, Frank Chance. 1890. Well, he starts 1898. Way back. 1900s, 1910. Not enough games. 1,200 games. 1,200 hits. If he plays 2,400 games, he'd have 2,400 hits. So he's a 296 guy. Is high in hits. Only 150 hits. Frank Chance. 101 on the list, Duke Snider. Brooklyn Dodgers, 1950s. Where should we put Snider? He's a 295 career. His high, he had a 341 one year, and that's pretty good. 341. He was a slugger. He was compared with Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle during the 50s. They would say in New York, who was the best center fielder? And people would debate it, Snider, Mantle, or Mays. 2,100 games, 2,100 hits. It's possible if he played 3,000 games, he could have been close to 3,000 hits. 407 homers. His high in hits, he had 199 hits one year. So he was pretty good on an average. 341 was his high. 102 on the list. Lou Bargero. 295 career. And he had a 355 was his high for a season. 1,600 games, not enough. 1,700 hits. 295. His high in hits one year, 191. But he had a 355 one year. That's very respectable. Lou Bargero. 103 on the list. Barry Larkin. 295 career. All these guys are Hall of Famers. My countdown is dealing with Hall of Fame players only. Larkin. Barry Larkin. Cincinnati Reds. Played his whole career there. I like that. You stay with one team your whole career. I like that. 2,100 games, not enough. 2,300 hits. So he was outpacing the games played. More than a hit a game. About 198 homers. His high in hits about 185. Barry Larkin. 104 on the list. George Davis. 295 career average. The high for Larkin, I didn't mention it. His high was a 342, so he had potential to have respectable 300 batting seasons, but he ends up 295. So George Davis, 295. This guy goes way back, right? Oh, yeah, look at this. 1890s, 1900s, 2,300 games. Here's another guy, 2,600 hits. So he's outpacing the games played. He was on pace for 3,000 hits. Should have played longer. 295. His career best for a season, 355. Had 195 hits one year. George Davis, old school. 105 on the list. Jimmy Collins. This guy goes way back too. This is 1890s and the 1900s. 1,700 games, not enough. And listen to this. He ends up with 1,999 hits. One hit shy of 2,000. Just think of all the times he got robbed. Hit a line drive out to the outfield and gets robbed. One hit shy of 2,000. He was on a pace for 3,000 hits. There's a lot of guys that could have been in the 3,000 hit club if they had just played more games. I wonder what they were thinking when they retired. Collins, best year, 346. 106 on the list. Interesting guy here. New school. Frank Robinson. 294 career batting average. This is good for a slugger because he belted 586 homers and ends up 294. Listen to this, 2,800 games. I like it. So he's playing it out, playing a long time, and ends up with 2,943 hits. Frank, 57 shy of 3,000. Play one more year, even a half a year, to get those 57 hits. You're in the 3,000 hit club, and you would have joined the guys with 3,000 hits and 500 homers. How many are in that club? Aaron is. Who else? 3,000 hits, 500 homers. How many are in that club? Well, let me go back and look. I've got the list here. Quiz question. How many guys, 500 homers and 3,000 hits? .500 homers, 3,000 hits. Can you name them? I'm looking at the list. Can't find anybody so far. One guy, Henry Aaron, 755 homers, 3,771 hits. Can you name someone else? Yeah, here's another guy. Willie Mays, 660 homers, 3,200 hits, roughly. Was there another guy? Trying to think. Was there another guy? I don't have him on the list. How about 500 homers, 300 batting average, and 3,000 hits? Henry Aaron, 305 career batting average, 755 homers, and 3,771 hits. Willie Mays, 302 career batting average, 660 homers, 3,200 hits. That's an elite club. You know, Babe has the 700 homers and the 342, but he didn't get the 3,000 hits. And Stan Musial has the 330 batting average, right? Let's see. Musial, what was it? Yeah, where's Stan, the man? Yeah, 331 career batting average and 3,000 hits, over 3,000 hits, but only had the 475 homers. Jimmy Fox, no. So, where am I at? I'm at Frank Robinson. He could have been another guy with the 500 homers, 3,000 hits. He's 57 shy. And he falls short on the average. So he had the potential, Frank Robinson. If I was him, I would have focused on. You know what gets me about Frank Robinson? Okay. 2,943 hits. He's 57 shy of 3,000 hits. That bothers me. Also, he has 586 homers, 14 shy of 600. I would go for the 600 homers. So keep playing another year. And he's 294 career batting average. So he's close to 300 batting average. Those three things would have been monumental in the history of Frank Robinson. Don't you think? He may have been the only guy with those kind of numbers, or he would have joined 2 or 3 other guys with similar numbers. Frank Robinson, 106 on the list. All right, let's keep going. Tim Raines, 107. Career batting average, 294. His high, 334. The high for Frank Robinson, he had a 342 one year. Okay. Had a triple crown year for Frank. Okay, so Tim Raines, 2,500 games, 2,600 hits. He's averaging over a hit a game. So if he plays the 3,000 games, this is another guy that could have made the 3,000 hit club. 170 homers. Never got quite to 200 hits in a season. Had 192. So he ends up 294 career. 108. Lou Brock. 293 career batting average. His best season, he only batted 315 was his high. That's not high enough. Some of the other Hall of Famers have 350s, 360s for their season best. Brock's best was only 315, but he had 4 200 hit seasons, so he's getting on. He has 2,616 games, and he ends up with 3,023 games. See, I proved my point. You play enough games, you pass the 3,000 hit club. And a lot of guys had the potential. And Lou Brock fulfilled his potential, so I like him. 293 for Brock. 109 on the list. Tony Lazario. 292 career to Tony Lazario. Yankees. During the 20s and 30s, played along with Babe Ruth. 1,700 games, 1,800 hits. He's averaging a hit a game. His best, 354. So he has potential for respectable 300 hitting seasons. Had a 332, a 303, had a 309. 292, Tony Lazario. Shortstop. 110 on the list. Tommy McCarthy. This is way old school. What do I mean by old school? 1880s. Didn't play long enough. He made the Hall of Fame. 292 career. Had a 350 batting season once. 350. 1884 to 1896. That's 13 years roughly. 1,200 games. Not enough. 1,400 hits. So Tommy McCarthy makes the Hall of Fame. How? I don't know. The 292? Maybe during that era, he was one of the quality players. That's not enough numbers for me for the Hall of Fame. But he made it. All right, that covers number 91 through 110. We'll keep going, counting down to 169, looking at Baseball Hall of Fame players, baseball's batting average, and how they're ranked. Number 1, Ty Cobb, 366. And we're on number 110, Tommy McCarthy. We're at 292. We'll keep going down to 196. Thanks for watching here. I'm out.